Hello everyone, welcome to Java tutorials. Topics for today's session is, in this session we have to learn about the different control statements available in Java. Different control statements are selection statements, looping statements or jumping statements. Okay, Java initially developed by James Gosling at Sun Microsystems and released in 1995. Java is computing platform for application development and object oriented. Java is class based programming language. It means everything in the Java can be specified within the class only, and it is the concurrent programming language. Concurrent programming means multiple processes execute simultaneously, and it is the platform independent, means it can run in all types of platforms and it is free to access. Sun Microsystems defines the Java as the simple, secure, robust, complete object oriented and platform independent high level language. They also define the Java as it is the portable and multi-threaded technology gives high performance. Different control statements. Control statements mean normally the Java programs execute sequentially. Okay, in some situations we have to control those statements. Now, those statements can be controlled by using these type of statements. And these statements in some situations to break the normal flow and jump from one statement to another statement and execute some set of statements repeatedly. These all can be possible with the help of these control statements. And in the control statements we have decision making, looping and branching statements. And control statements also determines the other statements will be executed or not, and it controls the flow of the program. So we call these statements as the control statements, and these can be divided into three categories. Those are selection statements, iteration statements and jumping statements. Here Java control statements can be categorized into three: selection statements, iteration statement, jumping statement. And selection statements again classified into if statement, if else statement, nested if else if ladder and switch statement. Switch statement is also known as the multi-way conditional statement. And iterative statements or looping statements are three. Those are the while loop statement, do while loop and for loop. Jumping statements can be the break, continue and return, which are used to jump from one statement to another statement. We can learn in detail in the next slides. And now we have to learn about the decision making statements or selection statements, and these are also known as the conditional control statements, which allows the programmer to select between the alternatives during the program execution. Okay, we are called these as the decision making statements because these execute depends on the decisions. So we call these are the decision making statements. Okay, we call this as the selection statements or decision. And these also determine which statement to execute and when are those can be executed. So we call these are the decision making statements. And these also decides the flow of the execution based on some conditions. So we call these as the conditional statements also. And these can be of the if else, nested if else if and switch cases. These are the different statements we can learn in detail. Next, first is the simple if statement, and this if statement is the most simple decision making statement. Okay, this is the simple decision making statements, and this determines whether the code should be executed based on the some condition. We have to specify the condition in the syntax. If condition, then some statements can be executed. Okay, depends on this condition only these statements can be executed. The condition statements evaluate only the boolean values, either that may be the true or false. When the condition true, then only these statements get executed. Otherwise this this statement cannot be executed. We can also include the multiple condition statements by using the logical operators and or in the condition statements or expressions. For example, this is the flow chart. If it first tests the expression, if this is the true, then body of the if, that is the executed. Otherwise the statement cannot be executed. If this expression true, then only it executes. If this expression false, then it executes the followed statements, the if condition. Okay, this is the simple example for the if. Class name, this is the if demo. I am using here if condition, if statement, so I am named as the if demo. Public static void main, here I declare the marks is equal to 70. If marks greater than 65, then displays I am in Java or hello Java. Otherwise it cannot be executed. Either here you can write some print statement, system dot out dot print line, some hello. If this if the marks can, if we change this 70 as the 80, sorry, this as the 30, then loop cannot be, this if statement cannot be executed. It executes when the marks greater than 65, but we are assigned marks as the 30, so it cannot enter into the if statement. It executes this. Here I'll write just like the some hello. This statement gets be executed. System SOP means system dot out dot println. Okay, like this. Okay, if the condition specified with the if that condition true, then only the body of the if can be executed. This is the body of the if. It executes when this condition true. Otherwise it cannot be entered into the if. Next is the if then else. This is also used for testing the condition. When there is the possibilities for more than one possibility, then in those situations we can use the if then else. We are using simple if when there is the only one possibility. If the condition is true, then only it executes. If then else can be used either in situations true and as well as the false condition. So if then else statement provides two paths. Okay, and if blocks is executed when condition holds true. Otherwise when the condition false, the statements included in the else block are executed. Okay, this is the if condition, then executes this block. If this condition true, then only this block can be executed. Else this block is executed. In if else condition is executes for true and block. It has the two paths for the true block and the false block. It can here this is the flow chart. This is the test expression. If this condition is true, then body of the if is executed. If this condition or test is expression is false, then body of the false else statement is executed. And it exits from the loop and followed by the loop can if condition can be executed. Okay, for example, here I am using the if else demo. This is the public static void main. Here I am using I is equal to 20. If I less than 45, then print I is smaller than 45. Else I is greater than 55. Okay, I am assigned I is equal to 20. So it enters into the first loop. Okay, or if I change this number as the, if I change this as the some 80, then else block is executed. It displays the this output. Okay, next, nested if. This is the one form of the if within the if is called the nested if. Okay, and if present inside an if block is called the nested if. It is similar to if else, but except that defined inside another if else. Okay, this is the syntax: if condition, then some executable statements, and check if condition. If this condition true, then it enters into this block and checks the another condition, then it executes. Otherwise it executes. If we specify the else, those statements can be executed. This is the flow chart. If this expression is true, then it enters. Here it again checks for the another condition too. If this is true, it executes the nested if block. If this is false, it executes the nested ifs else block. If this is the false, it enters into the else block and exits from the if statement. For example, here I am taking the fun example. Here s is equal to 15 and checking for the s greater than 30. If s mod 2 equal to 0, I am dividing. Modulus means remainder division. If s is divisible by 2, then it displays the even number, and that is the greater than the 30. Okay, and otherwise it displays the odd number and greater than 30. Okay, here s must be the greater than 30 and s must be divided by the 2. Here I am checking the two conditions: s is greater than 30 and as well as the s mod 2 equal to 0. S must be divisible by the 2. Okay, I am here assigned the s is equal to 15. So it checks s is greater than 30. No. So it enters. This is the else. It enters into the else block of this. Okay, this is executed. S is less than 15. Okay, then print the hello world. It displays the this output. Next, if else if ladder. Okay, in the nested if within the if, in the else if ladder, we have the, in the else also we have to check the if condition. Okay, if else, if the condition is true, then it will execute the if block. Otherwise it will execute the else if block. That is called the if else if block. Okay, and if the condition is not met, what we are specified, then it will move to the else block. And this can be used when we have the multiple options. Okay, in those situations these statement can be used, and this is executed from top down approach. Okay, top to bottom. One if condition controlling the if is true. The statement associated with that if is executed and the rest of the ladder is bypassed. If none of the condition is true, then the final else statement will be executed. So observe it. Here we are specified one condition. If this condition is true, then statements are executed. Okay, and it enters into the following statements. And if this condition is false, this is the else if ladder. So we are specifying the another test expression in the else. If this is the false, then it checks for the another condition. If this condition true, then it executes and follows the next statements. If this condition 2 or 2 also false, then entered into the true. Likewise, it executes. It executes when the condition is false. Then in those situations also, in those situations only, this statement can be used. Okay, this is the syntax and this is the example. If condition 1, there's code for this condition 1, this is the true block. Else, if we have to check the condition true, in false condition only. False means when this condition becomes the else condition means, else means when this condition becomes false. If this condition false, it checks for the condition true, it executes. If this condition 2 is also false, then it checks for the condition 3. Likewise, it checks. Okay, all other is false, then it executes the else followed by the if. Okay, if else if demo. Here I am using a is equal to, b is equal to 3 and c is equal to 4. Here I am defining the a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3 and c is equal to 4. If a greater than b, if a greater than b, then print the some institute 1. Else, this is the if block. This is not satisfied. A is equal to, b is equal to 3. Then it enters into the else block and checks the next condition, that is the a greater than c. A is equal to 2 and c is equal to 4. If a greater than c, no, it also not executed. Then it enters this if else, that is the else. Okay, this is also not satisfied, so it enters into the else and it displays the some condition, some intent. Okay, likewise this program is executed. And next is the switch statement. This is also known as the multi-way switch statement, branch statement, or multi-way conditional statements. When we have to check the multiple conditions for the single expression, in those situations we can use the switch statement, and this statement can be used with integer type data types only, that is the short, byte, long and enum, those type of data types only can be applied. This statement can be, and we must be case values must be the 1 or n number can be specified with the case, and duplicate case values are not allowed, means case values must be the unique. If we enter the duplicate values, the compile time errors can be generated by the compiler, and the case values must be the literal or constant, and variables are not permissible. Okay, we cannot assign the variables as the case values. Okay, and we have to use the break statement within the case. A break statement is used to terminate the statement sequence. It is optional. If this is not used in the cases, the next case also checks, entire cases is checks. Okay, if the condition is also false, it checks for the multiple possibilities of that case can be checked. If we use the break, that can be jumped from that statement, that is the jumping statement. Okay, and based on the argument in the switch statement, suitable case will be selected and executed if we specify the break. If no matches case found, then default, this is the default statement will be executed. This is the switch. Here with the switch we can use the variable, value or expression, and the related to this variable or value or expression, these case values can be specified, case 1, case 2, case 3, likewise the default. In those situations, default can be executed if these case possibilities are not satisfied. In those situations only default case can be executed. This is the optional. And this is the example. This is the This is the music class music. Here I am using the some instrument 2. Okay, next here I am assigned the one another variable declared string music instrument. Switch statement with int data type. Switch inst which is the 2. If case is equal to 1, the music instrument is the guitar. Then break, it checks inst is equal to 1. Is this is true, it checks like this. In inst is equal to 1, no, we are assigned inst as the 2, so this block cannot be executed. Next case is equal to means inst is equal to, then it is satisfied. Then the music instrument must be the output must be the piano. Okay, next break, it does not checks the case 3 or case 4 or default. If we assign the instrument as the here instead of 2, if we assign some 4, then default block, that is the music instrument is invalid, can be executed. The system.out.println, this is the print statement which prints the music instrument. What is the value in the music instrument? If that is the true, in the first situation it displays the piano. If we assign this inst as the 4, then it displays the invalid. Okay, this is the example using the here possibilities for the instrument is the 1, 2, 3 or multiple. Okay, if you can use the if you can also use the if enter some alphabet is, that is the vowel or consonant. In those situations also you can enter one day and check for that is a Sunday or Monday or the Tuesday or months. In those situations, when the possibilities for the multiple possibilities for the situation, in those situations you can use this type of statements. And next is the loop statements or iterative statements. These are used to execute the block of statements multiple times or repeatedly executing the same statements. In those situations, loop means continuous execution. Executing the same code multiple times until a specific condition is met. Those are called the loops. Looping means repeated. Okay, these are also called the iteratively executing some statements. Okay, we call these as the iterative statements or looping. These can be 3 types: for loop, while loop and do while loop. First, while loop. While loop is the control flow statement and it is also known as the entry controlled loop. Okay, it allows the code to be executed repeatedly. Here this is the syntax: while condition or text expression, then some block of the statements can be executed. This is also this can be similar to the repeating if statement, and it is used for iterating some part of the program several times based on some expression. When the number of iterations is not fixed, in those situations this while loop can be used. While loop executes till the specified condition or text expression becomes false. This is the flow chart. It enters into the loop, it checks the condition. If that is the false, then exits. It cannot enter into the loop. If that is true, then it executes the body of the loop and repeats, again checks the condition. It repeats this same condition. It repeats the same statements until this condition becomes the false. Okay, it executes till the condition becomes false. Okay. And this is the example. While demo, I am assigned, declare the integer variable assigned it to 1 while I less than or equal to 10. up to I becomes 10, it can be executed. System.out.println I. First it is the I 1 is tested 1 less than 10. Then this prints. Next I plus plus means incremented by 1. I becomes 2. Then 2 is less than 10. Then it prints 2. And again prints, again displays y is equal to I plus plus, I is equal to 2, 2 plus 1 3. Then again it condition is true, then again prints up to 10, it displays 1 to 10 print. After 10 it again increments 10 plus 1 11, it checks is the 11 is equal to less than or equal to 10. No, when that condition is false, then it exits from this loop and exits entered from the loop. So this is it displays the 1 to 10 natural numbers, and this is the infinite loop. Okay, infinite loop means condition never becomes the false. While loop executes until the condition becomes false. Here we are specified the while true. So always the while is true. We are not specifying any expression. So just we are assigned the true. It cannot becomes false. So it enters into the infinite while loop. Okay. Next is the do while loop. Do while loop is used to execute some part of the program again and again. This is also the loop, and this is the exit controlled loop. Okay. If the number of iterations is not fixed, in those situations you can use while or do while. In those situations also you can use the do while loop. But only while and do while is the same, but only difference is in the while that a condition is checked once. In the do while loop, condition checked at the end. So it is called the exit control loop. That means at least once the loop executes, the entire loop executes at least once, because loop executes, and after that it checks the condition. Okay, before the condition is checked, the loop executes and then checks. If that is the true, then enters into the loop. If this condition is false, then it exits from this loop. Okay, this is the condition. This is the statements and condition. If this is true, it enters again, executes the statements. If this condition false, then it either that is the condition false or true, at least once these statements can be executed. Only that is the difference between the while and do while. So we call the while as the entry controlled loop, do while as the exit controlled loop. In the while, the condition is checked once and entered into the loop. In the do while, it enters into the loop first, and after that it checks the condition. Okay, example here, do while loop, I is equal to 1, enters system.out.println I plus plus, I becomes 2, while I less than 2, 10. Okay, I is the 2, so 2 is less than 2, and so it executes until it executes up to 10. It also displays the 1 to 10 natural numbers. In infinite do while loop is also like this. We have to specify the true in the expression, test expression or condition. In those situations, while or do while can be entered into the infinite loop. And this is the for loop. For loop is used to iterate or evaluate the code multiple times. Okay, and this can be used when the number of iterations are known to the user. Okay, when the number of iterations are unknown, in those situations we can use the while or do while. When the number of iterations are known by the user, in those situations it is recommended to use the for loop. Okay, there are three types of for loops, that is the simple for loop, for each loop, and labeled loop. The syntax for the for is for initialization, means where the starts, from where it is starts and up to which condition, and what is the increment and next statement. What is the next place of this initialization statement that can be specified by increment or decrement and body of the for loop. It is the start and initialization. It checks the condition. Okay, if it is true, it executes and increments and check the condition. It executes until the condition becomes the false. If this condition false, this loop ends. And this is the example for the for loop. Here using the writing the for loop to print the hello world 5 times. For I is equal to 1, I know the output should be the hello world and that must be displayed in 5 times. Okay, so here I declared the I is equal to, I is the integer and starting with the 1, and it must be repeated until I becomes the 5. Okay, I plus plus. After the I is equal to 1, it must be incremented by the 1. Okay, it displays the hello world up to 5. 1 to 5 it displays. So what is the print statement? Hello world. So hello world can be printed 5 times. And this is the another example using the for loop to display the multiplication table. Here I assigned n is equal to 2. So it displays the multiplication table 2. Okay, for n is equal, I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. I is repeated from 1 to 10. System.out.println n into in the double quotes what we are written that can be displayed as it is and equal to as it is, and plus is used to combine the statements. Okay, within the print statement, and it displays n into 2. N is the 2 first, and I is equal to first is the 1, so 1 equal to as it is, and n into 1, 2 into 1, it becomes 2. And next I is equal to 2, next I is equal to 1 plus 1, 2. 2 into 2, n is the stable 2 only. If we change this is as the some 5, then it displays the multiplication table 5. Okay, this is the example for using the for loop. And for each loop, this loop, for each loop is used to traverse all elements in an array. Okay, for each loop can be used to traverse the elements in the array, and these elements present in the array are written one by one. Okay, in those situations for each loop can be used. In this loop, the user does not have to increment or decrement the value in the for loop. Only we have to specify the type and array. Okay, for type, which type of variable and what is the array. Okay, for example, here for int I, this is the array equal to some numbers 100, 101, 102, 103, 1. For int I colon, here we have to specify the colon, and which type, this is the integer type. What is the array? You have to specify array name is A, so you specify the A. It displays array values traverse this specified array. This is the A values 101, 102, 103, 104. What are these? All are the elements in the array. So traverse and displays. Okay, because I displayed I in the print statement, so these values are displayed. Okay, to traverse the array for each loop can be used. And labeled for loops. For loops, labeled for loops is used to give label before the for loop, and it is all very useful for nesting for loops. For within the for is called the nesting for loop. In those situations, these labeled for loops can be used. Label name for initial for loop and condition. The before for we are specifying the label. So here is the example. Okay, I is equal to 1 and I equal up to 5. It can be repeated and I incremented by the 1. This is labeled as the num1. For int I is equal, j is equal to 1 and j repeats up to 5. Okay, and if I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 2, then it breaks. Okay, this is the breaking what? Breaking the loop. Loop. What is this? This is the num1 label and this is the num2. sorry, this is the num and num1. Which loop is breaking? Num. This entire first for loop is breaking. Okay, so this is the this is printing. It observe, this is the for I is equal to 1, this is the 1, and what is the j? 1, and I is equal to 1, and for I is equal to 1 to 5, for j 1 to 5 can be repeated. When I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 2, in those situations the it is, we are assigned the break. So this break is the outer loop, outer for loop. So outer for loop can be break, means exits from that loop. So up to 2 1 it is displays. If we does not specify this break, it displays the 2 2 2 3 2 4 2 5 3 1 3 2 3 2 3 4 3 5 4 1 4 2 up to 5 1 5 2 5 5. Up to that it displays the output. And next is the unconditional control statements or jumping statements or branching statements. Okay, these statements are called the jump because these are used to jump from one statement to another statement or exit from the loops. These statements can be used. These statements are used to jump from the current executing loop, and these we are also call this as a jump from one statement to another statement and transferring the flow of the execution. So we call this as unconditional. We are unconditionally we are exiting from that loop or some condition or something. Okay, generally these can be used with the for while or do while loops. Okay, and here we have the break, continue, and return. Break is the keyword, and this is used with any control statements, and this terminates the loop or switch statements and transfer the execution to the statement immediately followed by the loop. Okay, and this break statement is used to terminate the loop, and it breaks the control flow of the program. It can be just used as the break or break and label. If we want to break the labeled, so we can use the break as a label. This is the example. Okay, it is the for loop j is equal 0 up to j is equal 10. Okay, here we are specifying if j is equal 5, then is break. Generally this loop executes j is equal 0 to 10. So 0 to 10 can be displayed. When that is the 5, then it loop break. We are specified the break. So it breaks the loop, means it enter when j becomes 5, then it enters from the loop. It displays the after the following statement, that is the after loop. Print statement is the after loop. So it can be executed. And next is the continue statement. This is also the keyword, and it is also the branching statement or unconditional statement. This can also be used like the break within the loops only. Okay, and if difference is break is the terminates the entire loop, but continue statement is jumps to the next iteration of the loop immediately. Okay, only it jump from that specified condition. Okay, and this can be used with loops, for loop, while loop, or do while loop. The syntax is continue or continue label. For example, class continue test. Here I am declared the j as the integer and assigned to the 0, starts with the 0 and less than or equal to 10, and j plus plus. Okay, you can write like this also. It is similar to the less than or equal to. Okay, and if j mod 2 not equal to 0, means it displays the only odd numbers. Even numbers can be terminated. Means continue is terminating that possibility. What is here? Here we are using 0 to 10. So 0 is displayed. Okay, not to j mod 2 not equal to 0. So 2 is displayed, even numbers, odd numbers are bypassed. So only even numbers will be printed. If 1 mod 2 equal to not equal to 0, so it continue means it can be bypassed. So it displays the 0, 2, 4, 6 ida as the output. This is another example with labels. Okay, here I am use the label, some terming label. This is the class main method int I is equal to 1 to j I less than or equal to 4. Up to I becomes 4, it can be loop can be executed. And another variable, that is for the another for loop, k is equal to 1, k up to 1, 4, I less than or equal to 4, it can be executed. Here, sorry, here I have to use the k. This is the k. Okay. And print the I value. I value is the 1. It prints if I equal to 3. When I becomes 3, it aborted by this. Means it bypassed. Okay. And it displays the hello. Okay. So it displays the values I is equal to 1, 2, and when that I is equal to 3, it displays hello, and after that 4. So output is the 1, 2, and when that is the 3, it displays the hello. And after the loop executes, that is the 4, and up to 4 it can be executed. Okay, this is the another example using the labeled continue loop. Okay, in the summary, we learnt in this control statements, different control statement, decision making statements, iterative statements, and branching statement. Decision making statements are conditional or selection statements. Those are the if else, nested if else if ladder, and switch statements. In the iterative statements, we learned for, while, and do while loop. In the branching statements, we use the break and continue. And return is also there. Return is used within the functions, which is used to return the value to the calling function. Thank you, one and all.